Welcome everyone to another session of Crituitous RP. Before we begin, we would like to welcome our new followers from this past week. So, a special thank you to Skilled Will, Nicole Knows Best, Greatest_Spinny, Radicus, Thrill Shrines, Anaxis, Zartman98, Derek GNC, and MK Daremo. Thank you very much, everyone, for following us, and keep it going, keep it going. We're still trying to push for that goal of 100 followers, so please invite your friends. Stick around for the break today, as we will be holding yet another Who's That Monster, and remember to keep a track of our previous sessions, as they tend to have a clue concerning which monster will appear during this the next session. And so, without further ado, previously on Crituitous RP, our adventurers, having explored the mines a little bit and solved the issue with madness, had returned to Fort Belawarian for the express purpose of cashing in the ghoul heads, getting a ton of gold from the contract, and then trying to ascertain, maybe trick the commander of the Flaming Fist there to try and gauge her personality. Unfortunately, tables were turned a little bit when they got there and found out that she is dying. She is weak, and every attempt at this tough persona that she had been putting on just a week earlier has just disappeared. She looked frail. She looked like she was expiring slowly. So, with her mortality on the line and seeing an opportunity to make a deal, the party made a deal with this woman. The deal was that they would travel to Mesro to find this individual who has a ring on him that she wants, and if they return with the ring, they will get 30,000 gold. Nice and simple. That's a huge bounty. Probably more gold than most of the people here have ever seen. To help with that, Grigori, I believe it was Grigori, managed to convince the leader to sign off on an agreement that these guys would be able to take any one item out of their stores, out of their supplies, in lieu of the cost of it against the reward. So we will start off the session today with the party being presented with this list. The plan is that once they have these equipment and when they're ready to go, they will jump on a Fort Belawarian ship, sail around the peninsula of Chult, round towards Mesro, and attack it by sea rather than traipsing through the jungle again. So, we jump back in. The party is gathered together into one of the meeting rooms in the Inner Bailey. It is a private room where there is just a table laid out with pieces of paper. On these papers is a list of items that the company have in store that they are willing to provide and give off. And so the quartermaster that sort of individual will ask each individual party member in turn, what are they requesting? The rules that I stipulated to the players was any one uncommon magic item except the Cloak of Displacement. And if you've ever played in any of my games, you'll know why I don't consider that to be an uncommon magical item. So, Zola, what is the item that you would request from this list that is presented to you?
I need a magic sword.
A magic sword. And what kind of magic sword are you looking for?
A saber, if you have one, specifically.
Yes, there is a saber in the list. It's just a finely crafted sword that is enchanted to be a little bit more deadly and powerful. If that will suffice.
Have you ever fought a ghost before?
Not a ghost.
Okay. Do you think that it would work on a ghost?
I have fought creatures that seem to be resistant to mundane attacks, and this weapon has proven to be capable of damaging those creatures.
I'll take it.
Okay, fair enough. Then, as he hands the saber over, he marks down on a piece of paper the saber and its cost. Averine, what are you requesting from the stores?
I'd like to upgrade my arcane focus. This wand that I have, it's great and all, but something that will give me a little more accuracy as I'm flinging my firebolts left and right.
Right. Well, yeah, you go through the list. Yeah, you'll spot Wand of the War Mage. Is that what you're going for?
I'll take it.
Okay. It'll be perfect. He will jot down Wand of the War Mage and its price. Carmen.
I will be going for the Borglucan Bandora.
One more time.
Borglucan Bandora.
I didn't quite hear that properly. Do you wanna?
Can Averine say it? Because she's got the,
Oh, you mean that instrument over there, the Forschluken Bandore?
That's the badger.
All right. He will mark off that particular instrument of the bards and its price for you and hand it off. You have all of the list of the spells that it provides you and the extra stuff it does, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. Tower, big guy. What do you want?
I have noticed that my friends have various types of bodywear that helps protect them. I was looking for something that might fit me, except for Averine, of course. She seems to be able to do so with magics. Oh, no, Averine has lots of, like Averine has lots of them.
Well, you seem like a natural kind of folk. In your attire and whatnot. I don't have any armor that isn't metal. I hear some natural-born folk struggle with that.
No, my kind have no adversity to wearing such things. It's just that we do not make it ourselves, and we do not come across many our size that do wear such things. So,
right. Well, just so happens to be, I happen to know or have seen a particularly large individual coming through this area, and we procured the armor off of him. And he shows you a list of items that would fit you. I believe you're asking for what kind of armor?
Mithril half plate.
Mithril half plate. Okay. I need to double check the cost of half plate. I believe it's 750 gold. Yep, it is 750 gold, so plus the mithril aspect to it. Okay. He will mark it off the list, mark down its price, and then move on. All of these items will be given to everyone after the list is made up. The red one, Grigori.
I don't require such large instruments. However, I was interested if you had any tokens or small baubles that would help with magical restoration of your physical form, wound healing, that kind of thing.
I think you'll be interested in this. And he points, I think you're asking for the periaptive wound closure, right?
Periaptive wound closure.
Okay. You know what that does, right?
Auto stabilize on death saving throws, and then double your hit die when you roll for them.
Yep, cool. And then he would turn to Greco. I don't think I have in my notes what Greco wanted.
He wanted a cloak of protection, I think.
Ah, yes, cloak of protection. Okay. So he will be handed a cloak of protection. That adds up. Very well. They mark off the list, mark off the prices, and then approach you all with all of the items and inform you that this counts towards 5,000 gold off the top price.
Does Shago get anything?
Ah,
He'll
Shago.
be with us.
I forgot about Shago. Shago. Give me 1 second.
He uses a shield, and
Yeah,
he
I'm
could
just double
probably
checking.
use an upgrade to his armor class. So maybe a nice shield.
Yeah, so a shield +1 is uncommon, so he will take a shield +1. So just a shiny, better shield. So that increases it even more. Okay. Cool. We're now looking at 6,300 gold towards the total reward money that you will get. So, would one of you like to mark that down somewhere? You've got it? Okay. I'll also be marking it down just for myself. But just so that you know it. Okay. With that, all of you will be handed the items and the equipment. You'll be given ample time to attune to it should you need to. Would any of you like to test out the things that you have? It seems like most of your things are combat items, though, so testing out would involve hitting each other, but...
Tower would undress properly and start putting this stuff on. No shame.
Averine will wiggle her eyebrows.
Grigori will just...
he has got his tattoos up and down his body in various symbols and glyphs at this stage, and the new ones that are added to his back.
Now, that's something that I would like to bring up and mention. As I've mentioned in previous episodes, I let these guys role play through in character throughout the week. It's for fun. It gives them an opportunity to chat. So Tower got a few new tattoos, correct? Or at least a new tattoo. What was the tattoo of, Tower?
You know, the tattoos themselves are kind of symbolic hieroglyphs of his tribe, and the representation here that all of these represent stories to do with Tower's significant events. He's basically telling stories through his tattoos of significant events and achievements. The current one being meeting this band and then having just done this journey and killed the undead is an achievement in his mind. Just a change of his life story since his accident.
Okay. All right. Then after you get all of your equipment that you need, you have quote-unquote free reign of Fort Belawarian. It is yours should you wish to do anything. Well, you're not going to be kicked out of it, but there is a ship on the beach being prepped and will be ready for the morning for you all. Is there anything you guys would be doing prior to boarding the ship?
I would just like to say that I'm kind of going to have him cover up that armor with his original clothing. I'm going to kind of go Frodo with this stuff, and it's kind of underneath his existing stuff. That's
okay.
As much as he can cover it.
I'll just point out again that there were dinosaurs in the fort that might be interesting to observe.
Were these ones we have not seen?
Well, our characters have seen them, but I don't know that our players are fully aware of them.
They are hadrosauruses.
Okey-dokey. These would these be too big for me to possibly?
A Hadrosaurus is CR 1/4.
Oh yes, so I would be able to observe these.
So you should be capable of viewing them running around the little cage filled with these Hadrosaurus. Hadrosauri? I don't know. If anyone watching the game knows what the plural of Hadrosaurus is or any sort of Dinosaurus
Source.
would be, let me know. But you've got Hadrosaurus and Deinonychus.
Who's this happy person tending to the dinos?
That, not really a happy fellow.
Oh.
He's just stood there up against a pillar, observing you as you observe the animals. Upon questioning, he will introduce himself as Rabbi Zuberi.
Pleasure to meet you, Rabbi. What can you tell us about these dinos?
These creatures, they are nothing more than pack animals, really. We use them to move some of the goods from the ships to the fort.
How fast can they go?
Well, if you leave them alone, about 40 foot per 6 seconds. But if you whip them good, you can get them to move twice that speed.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see he's got a nice big whip on his side that's barbed at the end.
That is disrespectful to those poor animals.
I am sorry, but you are not from around here. What you would consider respect may be different in different places. These animals, this is their respect.
If I whipped you, would you go faster?
Bring it on, boy.
How short is he compared to me?
Oh, he's probably about five foot. Like he's a little guy. Not picture. It is not a question of you versus me. This is the way that it has always been. There is no respect or disrespect if it's just the way it has always been.
These animals don't deserve such treatment under your hand.
You only think that way because you have been taught that way.
No.
These animals do not get taught that way. We do not get taught that way. To us, what you are doing disrespects everything by not controlling them.
You wish to control everything you see, and you know nothing.
Just these little beasts.
Tell me about those smaller ones. What are those called?
Those are rodents. Deinonychus.
Ah,
They are
I'm
called.
gonna pick up Goldblum protectively.
So, you gonna leave me alone? Or do I have to suffer you for longer?
I noticed there was a jousting list outside. Are these the creatures your folk ride for jousting, or do you have other mounts?
If someone does not have their own mount, then they can ride one of these. If they have their own mount, which they caught out in the jungle, then they can ride it. One man once tried to ride a Triceratops in battle. It did not go well.
I think it'd be very effective. What happened?
The Triceratops got its horn stuck in the tree. We had to put it down.
With that, I will just walk away and just try to grab Tower. It's like, oh, very interesting.
Crick his neck. Get a little bit red. But he'll be let himself be led. For now.
Goodbye. All right. And so you'll head back into the fort.
Should we?
Can Tower observe like how strong were those gates?
Not that strong. Should an animal be influenced enough to really try, it could probably break it down, but these animals looked docile. They looked like they weren't going to fight against the man while he was there.
Okay.
Should we see about getting a saddle for the combat maneuvers that you and Shago were testing out the other day?
You wish for me to wear a saddle all the time?
No, this would be something that you'd change into ahead of time. If you think that riding into battle would be an effective maneuver.
Shago gets involved. Now that you are wearing armor, I believe there is a way that we can make it turn into a seat when you shift down. Like when you lie down, it goes up and I can sit in it.
I don't think that's right, Shago. He seems to absorb all the equipment that he has on his person.
So you cannot be an armored bear? I cannot ride an armored bear into battle.
I choose which items merge into my form. I can leave everything with me, but this armor would not fit that form, I do not think.
Fair enough. It is worth a try.
Did you want to try and test it to see if your armor will accommodate? It looks very fine. Is it magical?
No, it is. From my understanding, it is made of a material called mithril. I do not think this is magical, though.
It's very fine indeed.
Tis a nice shiny armor. I see why people may look for such precious metals as gold and acquire lots of it. This feels quite nice. It is very light. But we have to do something about that man in there.
We have to do something about it now.
But the longer we wait, the more those animals suffer.
But the more trouble you cause here, the less we will be able to do on behalf of the fort.
We do not need to do it so openly when that man cannot be there every hour.
He might have been exaggerating about his willingness to use the whip.
Did we perceive like lots of scars on those creatures?
You didn't get close enough to really investigate.
Like from a random perception, passive perception.
Roll a perception check at disadvantage to try and see if you can remember what you might have passively noticed.
Oh.
12. You didn't see any big scars.
He might have been trying to goad you. As soon as he saw the creatures were dear to you, that's when he seemed to turn it up a notch.
Yeah.
Old creatures are dear to me. They do not deserve to be controlled in such a manner. Creatures should be free. That's my point. The respect he does not understand is that he does not own them. He should not own them. They should be free.
Well, some creatures seem to do better in domesticity. Although they do not have freedom, they do have security. They don't have to worry about predators. They have a roof over their head, and they get fed regularly.
I understand such things as pets. And this is the same as Zola and her new friend, and under her protection, she is surely a mother to this thing, and it would not survive without her. But I do not condone such rash violence for control. And it should not be this way.
If we can just survive long enough to do this thing for Liara, then we can burn this whole thing down if you want to.
Yeah. We can come back and deal with it. No one here is agreeing that this is right. It is
I know.
wrong, but we can't fight every battle
I know.
continuously. We could come back and
It just makes my
unless
blood
you want
boil.
one of us to steal his whip.
Grigori is keeping his mouth fastidiously closed at that whole, no one's agreeing this is right. It's like,
Would you like one of us to steal his whip?
This is not a bad proposal.
Okay.
It would certainly
Can I
make-
try and steal his whip?
It would certainly make-
Sure you can. As
Lovely.
the Mission Impossible theme tune starts.
Carmen,
Go ahead. Yeah.
Carmen, what
How are you gonna?
what item did you Can you tell us about the item you acquired?
My item?
Aye.
Oh, that's true. Oh. Yeah, I could use it now, couldn't I? And then go and steal the whip.
I do not know. What did you get?
So I got this really awesome guitar loot thing. It's a loot, right?
play us a
You are the
song.
bard. Why would you?
Play us a song with your new instrument.
Can I cast, if I was to go and do this, I would sing like I Am the Invisible Man by Queen, cast invisibility, and go and steal that whip.
Okay. All right. So, which one did you pick again?
The food.
What happened? Is that item cursed? Where has she gone?
The Fuklukan Bandora.
Bandalore.
Bandalore.
No, it is
recognize-
Bandor. Sorry, it is.
I
Thank you,
recognize that
Bandor.
spell, right? Do I recognize
Well,
the
yeah, you
spell?
recognize the invisibility spell. You know what? Out of all the instruments they have shown in the DMG, which is a nice array of instruments, that's the one instrument they don't have an image of.
Ah, it's a guitar on D&D Beyond. It's like
Yeah.
a lute.
That image respects the Kenneth mandolin. We can assume if you would like it to be like a mandolin, a
Yeah.
little lute, then you can do so.
Okay.
All right. So you begin to cast invisibility with it.
Yes.
Okay. As you turn invisible, you still have to roll a stealth check, but you will have advantage on it.
Okay.
As you roll a stealth check. 21. Nice. Right. You know where it is. You know you need to go through the double doors into the courtyard, and then through the other double doors into the actual inner bailey, and then he is right there on your left.
I'm just going to sneak up.
MTG cards. Oh, okay. Fair enough. As you begin to stealthily make your way through, no one seems to hear you. So quietly make your way. You're right there up against him. What are you doing to be able to get the whip off his person? What skills will you employ?
Oh, my lord. Well, he can't see me and he can't hear me, so I don't have to cause a distraction. So I'm going to just do a sleight of hand.
Okay. Go ahead and sleight of hand that. 20. Nice. You see that the whip is tied loosely on a loop on his belt, so you carefully start pulling on the string to loosen this loop. When it's finally released, you just slowly separate it away, and then run as quietly and quickly out of the door as you possibly can. Making it out, have a floating because the whip doesn't go invisible when you pick it up. So what are you doing to hide the whip?
I'm trying to think. Is there any items nearby which I can? I don't even know what I can hide it under. Because if I hide it in some hay, it's still gonna be moving hay.
Everything you are wearing, everything you have,
Yeah.
is invisible.
Oh, so I can shove it inside my jacket then?
You can do.
Right, I would definitely do that then. Okay. Yeah.
So you slip it in, hide it from view, and then move away. Moments later, you'll get back to the group. You can undo the invisibility and repair. Ta-da!
I open up my jacket. Ta-da!
He's going to be so like wide-eyed.
Roll a perception check on the whip. Hi, I love Pez.
Roll what? Me roll?
Perception. Anyone that wants to check whether or not the whip was recently used on the animals, roll perception on the
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's a great talent.
I believe it would have been. That doesn't help.
Okay.
That's why I stole it.
Tower, it has been used. That much is clear. But not recently, and not a lot. You can see evidence that blood has stained the leather whip, but not a lot of blood. So he definitely uses the whip, but not as often as he made you think.
It does not matter. Now, he will not be using it again.
He will not be using it again because we have it.
Yes.
What do you want to do with it?
Stick it up his ass.
I can't stick it up his bum. Should we save that for another? Should we save it for another time?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll keep hold of it for you, shall I? Okay. So he can stick it up his bum.
It's gonna be a real big sleight of hand DC right there.
I'm gonna need a really good roll on that one.
A 10-foot whip, it's gonna be difficult. Okay. All right. Anything else that you will be doing in preparation for getting on the ship and leaving Fort Beluarian?
Have we got some time? Are we going down to the port? Is that what we're doing?
It's up to you what you do, but the longer you spend in Fort Beluarian, the sooner that individual is going to realize his whip is missing.
No, I'm happy to go down to the ship. I'm just curious, like, will we get down to the ship, or are we just going straight to board? Is the ship going to be, like, getting prepared? Are we going to have to wait a little while we're there?
The ship is being prepared. It'll be ready to go whenever you are.
Okay.
How long's the journey?
It'll take you about 6 days.
Oh, okay.
5 or 6
Okay.
days, going around the outside.
If Tower gets any time, he would like to practice swimming as an animal.
Okay. So as you all make your way over to the ship, you will see a nice big ship is ready. It is docked, and there are crew moving around it. Let me move us to the map of the ship. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. This ship is huge, but it's about the same size, really. Just about that Zola was had you all moving on. It's got 2 floors to it: the main deck and the lower deck. It is all sail powered, and you notice the sail is a Baldur's Gate flag above it.
I have
yeah?
dynamic lighting on. I don't know if that's intentional.
Map should not have dynamic lighting, so
same.
Here we go.
There we go.
Okay. So you should all be able to see the full ship. Smaller crewmen are making their way, doing various different jobs, pulling on the ropes and making themselves look busy, as one larger individual, and when I say large, I mean big guy. He looks like he missed one too many leg days at the gym, as this big fella, hands on the wooden railing, just stares out, shouting commands at all of his men. Strangely enough, it's really difficult for any of you to really understand the shouts that he makes. Probably he's got his own little ship language that he uses with everyone, or at least every one of his crew. As you all approach to the ship, he points to his first mate. Hey, what are you up there? Hold on. The first mate heads over. Hello? Who are you?
We were sent by the Blaze. We're the folks you'll be ferrying to Mesro.
Aye. Okay.
Do we have a letter from the commander, or do they just know where we're going already?
They know to take you to Mesro.
Great.
Yep. Okay. And back. Okay. Okay. We were expecting you. Good. Do you have any belongings that need storing away on the ship?
We travel
We'll
light.
require a berth. We travel lightly, but we'll require a berth for the journey.
Okay. You can grab any one of the hammocks down below, just like any of the other crew.
Very good. Grigori disappears below.
Okay.
He's going for the top bunk.
Gotta get there first. You get stuck at the bottom.
Grigori, as you step down these steps towards the lower deck, there is a stark difference between the upper deck and the lower. The upper looks nice and clean and pristine and very presentable. The lower doesn't. It's dirty. It's mucky. Probably hasn't been cleaned properly in a very long time. And it's filled with just stuff everywhere. There's no organization to anything. Quite a few of the hammocks can't be slept in just because there are stuff thrown there in that particular area. There are some crew just chilling out, having a good time down there, while the rest of the crew getting ready to set sail. The captain
find
will
a hammock
approach,
in the corner, and I'm gonna find a hammock in the corner and prestidigitate that thing so it's clean.
The captain will stride over to you all. Aye, welcome. So, you're the ones that'll be joining me crew.
Aye, that's us.
Very well. What are your specialities? What are your skills? If you're joining the crew, I need to know what you can do.
I'm going to tiptoe away and go and find a bunk.
Roll a stealth check.
Yes.
Hey, Stephen.
Hello. Just getting roll 20 up right now.
We're on a boat. Captain wants to know what we can do before he takes us to Mesro.
We're on a boat. We're on a boat.
I can't see what I got. What did I get?
You got an 8. What you got was the captain's hand firmly planted on your wrist as you tried to move away. Little girl. Back in the line.
Oh. Do you think?
I want to know what y'all can do. Yes.
Why not? Here's an idea. Why not see what everyone else can do? And I can fill in the gaps. Or I can entertain. Because, you know, these hands are, they're for entertaining. You see what I mean?
You're here to entertain my crew?
No, I'm here to entertain everyone for the good of the party, not one person.
Roll a persuasion check.
This is dangerous language in which you're describing.
She has proficiency in double entendres.
Yeah.
All right. I'll speak to the rest of the crew. You, Luon. What do you do?
I am strong.
Strong. Strong.
I do not know anything about this ship except for that it floats on the water.
Have any of you actually sailed before?
Yes.
Okay. And in what capacity did you sail?
I was the captain of my own vessel for a little less than a year.
Roll a persuasion check. See if he believes. Just realized all your rolls are whispered, Zola.
My bad. That was because of all of the insight checks over the week. I'll fix that.
It's almost as if the party don't trust you.
What?
I don't know
Why
why.
would they?
I don't think she's the one we distrust.
That's Grigori's shtick.
All right.
Trust her.
Power trust.
It'll be good to have someone that knows the way around a boat. You can really help out with the crew.
Sure.
I'll probably come and meet you later.
Okay.
You, turtle fella.
Yes.
I'll have you know, on a long, long journey, turtle tastes real nice.
Well, gratefully, I am not a turtle. I am a turtle. Much in the same way that I might express interest in the taste of chimpanzee. Ugh. You're not a chimp. I'm not a turtle. We should be clear on that.
So you're telling me you eat chimp?
No, no, I'm not saying that. But in the same way that I'm not a turtle, the same way you're not a chimp or an ape or some other hairy two-legged creature that walks around in the jungle.
Hey, I resemble that.
Hairy two-legged creature. You met the wife. So, what do you do, turtle?
Well, what was the rapport with this guy like before I got here? Just so I know how guarded
Literally
I need to
the first thing he's done is he's trying to square you up to see what you can do on the boat for the journey.
Oh, okay.
That's all you've met of him. You know he's the captain, that's it.
Okay. Well, what I do is serve the god Kalimvor. He bestows magic and gifts upon me that could be beneficial to the crew while we are sailing. My magic can also help if we are in a fight. However, I would rather not resort to that. I can also just help us figure out where we're going, the direction we're sailing. I'm sure your crew is more than apt at that, but if you need an extra hand, then I can lend it.
So you're a navigator.
There are better, but I'm capable.
What kind of crew has she sent me this time? She's underhanded me. I don't have enough people to be able to run the boat without him. But now she sends this lot.
Oh, you should be able to trust her judgment in who she sends to you. Has she ever led you astray yet?
She hasn't sent me people like you before.
Well, she sent you people, and you're still here. Your boat still stands. I think you can trust us.
All right. Everyone, below deck. We'll be setting sail soon.
One more thing, Captain.
Hey?
Do not threaten my friends, even if you're joking. And do not touch Carmen, please.
I might break something.
She's very feisty and dangerous. Watch yourself.
You also don't know where she's been.
This is my ship. These are my crew. Soon as we set sail, I am king. I'm the only one that matters here. You do what I say, and you do what I tell you to do.
We'll work with you. But if you threaten us, then expect to receive the same sort of social interaction. That's obvious.
Are you trying to intimidate?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an intimidation check. I think I like you.
We all do.
You all do.
Right. Boys, get the ship ready. We gotta go. And he starts walking back up to the top of the ship to just stand there and watch everyone get to work. You guys are welcome to go and one of the crew members comes up and guides you downstairs to put any of your things away. The ship will set sail at dawn, so you guys are welcome to rest here this evening. Tower, you have time to go and play in the water if you wish.
I wish to attempt to turn it into a reef shark and have a swim.
Ooh, it's exciting. Swim speeds.
Were there any other creatures that you wanted me to create for you for your wild shape? It takes me a bit of time to be able to create them.
Yeah, I'm not going to use them this week. We can discuss it. Well, unless something really drastically happens, which might. The shark is the best example I've got right now.
Okay.
Let me have a look.
I can create a generic shark for you, but to have it to update all of your proficiencies and everything will take me additional time.
Well,
Sharknado.
Well, let's say we're you can keep Sharknado. You can keep it. We'll keep it flat because he's learning, and then we'll sort it out next. How about that?
Sounds good. All right.
Giant octopus, because we love the giant octopus in the correct scenario.
Oh my god, an octopus in the sea, not on land.
You finally jump up into the air. You're trying out the new shape. As soon as you hit the water, you test your capabilities with a creature that you've barely seen once in the water. You've not spent much time on the water lately. So I need you to roll. I need to know what kind of skills you would be employing to help you get this right.
Okay, so he has, in his history, he has spent time on the water elemental plane with his mentor. So he has seen underwater creatures, which is why I specifically said he hasn't seen a whale before, because they wouldn't have anywhere to breathe. But he has seen sharks and stuff. So he hasn't got anything great. So I'm gonna have to go animal handling to say that he's seen these creatures and dealt with them.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll an animal handling check. As always, what you pick controls the DC, so go ahead and roll. 22. Whilst under the water, instinct makes you want to try and hold your breath. You begin to shift, and that focus of trying to keep the human natural form intact to be able to breathe properly slows you down to some degree. But eventually you finally calm down, you give in, your limbs elongate, split into the 8 tentacles of an octopus. Your body becomes that of a giant octopus's body, and you begin to take your first breath of water. You have learned the form of a giant octopus.
I think he's got a pretty good handle on that animal form.
I'm just going to swim around the boat a bit. Watching me do it.
Mm-hmm. Anything anyone else is doing this evening?
Gonna go and find somewhere to sleep and clear it off.
So you'll notice.
There's a space back here, Carmen. They're not much to look at, but in the back of the hold there seems to be. You can move some of the junk around and clear up a spot, and to be relatively unbothered.
You'll notice that all of the hammocks are just placed around posts in this one big open chamber.
Okay.
There is one sectioned off room. There is a door with the word captain just carved quite big lettering into the door. But other than that, everything is open here.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick the bunk, which is if the captain's door's on one side, I'm gonna make sure I've got Grigori on one side to me, like basically in the way between me and that door. So I would go next to him, but on the other side, away from that door.
All right. From the room that the hammocks are in, you'll turn up a set of stairs up towards the main deck, and just before you turn up, you turn again back up to the upper deck is the captain's room. So there's a couple walls in the way, a couple things. So you can clearly see if someone's coming down those steps before they come into the room.
Yeah, that's fine. I would like
Okay.
somebody probably a bit more scary than me.
Sounds good. All right. Anything else, folks?
Taro will always sleep on deck, just for reference. He doesn't like being in enclosed spaces too much.
Okay.
While Tower's learning to be an octopus based on some of the seething feelings of emotions that Grigori has that's like have happened over RP, he's actually gonna go stand on the edge of the boat and he's gonna figure out how to chuck fireballs. So
Tower,
that's the thing. If you're on one end of the boat, he's on the other end of the boat. He's not chucking them at you. He's just his hands feel hotter than usual, and it turns out that it's because he can throw fireballs now. So he's figuring out how that works.
I think Greco's just beyond deck, like watching and meditating and praying near the water, being near water like it wasn't home before he left home to begin with, and kind of taking it in, trying to get a read on the more mysterious Grigori.
Okay. So, exploding fireballs, you'll get what, one off before you have to stop for the day?
I mean, presumably, it's tiresome. It takes a while to figure out. The only actual full fireball I get out is it 2?
It's a 3rd level spell.
And I can get 2 a day, so with a lot of work and a lot of false starts and a lot of smoke and no fire, I can eventually chuck off 2 before I got that sort of figured out.
Not really focusing on targets, you just explode fire.
Well, that's the beauty of the fireball. You don't really aim so much as just
direct.
Yeah.
How's the captain looking while he's got a strange man who's turned into an octopus and another man who's firing fireballs?
That looks like the devil.
He's not got a smile on his face.
Actually,
just be glad we're your passengers and not your opponents.
I actually think while Grigori is struggling to cast a fireball, Greco is going to kind of sidle up next to him and just cast a few sacred flames off into the water, which would not be anywhere near as impressive as Grigori's fireballs, but...
Grigori chucks off his sacred flame, Greco chucks off his sacred flame. Grigori looks at him and chucks off his own sacred flames. Like, that is not a problem. That is not so hard to do.
Looking like a scene out of a World War II shot. Little spouts of water just suddenly start exploding up as the sacred damage explodes in a line straight away from the ship.
They're pretty fireworks, you know.
He says that and he uses prestidigitation to make the next explosion of water look like fireworks.
Stephen, you were offline when we were actually picking up our
Yeah.
items. I said cloak of protection. Is that the thing you wanted?
That is right. Yeah.
Okay.
And I already have that worked into my sheet, so it's
Okay.
it's already updated on that
Cool.
too.
All right. And will there be anything else folks will do before we will set sail? Nope. All right. Then in the morning, after you've all had the benefits of a full long rest, so hit points back up to maximum, spell slots refreshed, all of that good stuff, the boat starts to pull away at dawn. The ship makes its way out of Fort Belawarian.
I suppose it's worth asking because Porter said that this is her best crew on her fastest ship. And she also said that some of her men were showing signs similar to what she had. Are any of the crew apparently afflicted with the death curse?
Roll a medicine check to see if you can see any of the signs. At first glance, from just the first day, you can't tell enough from people's behaviors to tell if they've been affected by it. Fortunately.
Do you think he might have asked Greco to assist in that? Because Greco is proficient in medicine and herbology and all kinds of things, so he might be a good person to call on.
Hey, Greco! The Blaze said that these were her best men, and she also said that her most loyal men, the ones who were with her the longest, were also afflicted. Do you think these are any of those?
And there's an astute deduction. It's no wonder your mind is so apt to take in the arcane. I'll take a look and see what I find. So maybe I can roll medicine now.
Yeah, you
Might have
go
a little
ahead and
bit
roll a
better.
medicine check.
Yeah.
25.
All right.
You pick up a few signs. You notice that one or two individuals take a little bit longer than a good crew of sailors should. Comparing with the ship that you had sailed on previously to get here, to get up to Port Nine-Zaro or wherever you've been sailing previously, you would notice that this crew are a little slower than they should be.
Okay.
There are, in fact, from your best guess right now, 3 individuals that are under the effect of the death curse, and the captain.
Uh-oh. Well, Averine, it seems that there are at least 3 members on the crew that are affected by this mysterious undeath. Especially, and the captain is another one. We should tread carefully to make sure that they're not injured further, should that speed up the process of whatever they're going through.
Did the captain say the name of the ship, or did we see the name of the ship painted on the side?
No. The boat does not have a name painted on the side of it.
A boat has no name.
This boat, anyways.
The Boat with No Name. It's a good title.
I hear he has a horse, but that's for the desert. The boat is for the ocean.
When we're on the ocean, or when we're setting sail, I would like to ask the captain if he knows what our mission is, or if he is merely just conveying us from point A to point B.
He'll say, I've been told to get you from here and Mesmeron back.
Very well. We'll do our best to keep your ship out of harm's way.
Good. I don't expect any trouble from outside or in.
Are you not worried about pirates?
Ship this size, probably not gonna be. Bothered with. We're too big. And yes, to answer Orc Machine's question, yes, it's advantage, disadvantage in that situation. Insight check, you believe him. At least he seems believable with it. With the 8 that you rolled. Anything else I can do for you?
No, carry on. You're doing an admirable job.
All right. We be probably getting around the tip of the peninsula before sundown. And as such, the ship will make its way around. Yep.
On the morning of the first day of the voyage, I would like to sneak off into the pile of boxes in the back of the second level. And
Okay.
I would like to attempt to use the sending ring.
Okay. Trying to hide yourself, correct?
Mhm.
Roll a stealth check. 14. Okay. You feel like you're hidden. What are you going to say with the sending ring?
Do I really feel like I'm hidden?
You've done everything you can.
Okay,
As
then I'll look
normal.
around. Then I'll look around and make sure that nobody's looking at me.
Okay. Roll a
That's why
Just
we-
any of us can try to be there to see this.
That's why we need hidden stealth rolls.
Okay. You notice that as you're trying to find yourself a good spot behind some of the crates and boxes, that at least one member of the crew sees you.
Okay,
He's keeping an eye
then
on you.
I'll still slink down into the boxes, but I'll put my boots up and put my hands behind my back like I'm about to take a nap. And I'll try to take a nap.
Okay. All right. I will let this slide for now.
Wait,
Just
Why?
just because your character doesn't know that a 14 is a bad stealth roll.
Well,
In this
Wouldn't you be able
situation,
to
you talked
decide
it out
that-
right. No, yes, you talked it through right, so it made sense in this situation. Just, I want to try and make sure that people remember not to go off of what the number says. In this situation, you talked it through correctly. You would double check to see if other people are looking at you to find you. Absolutely, this was right. Just want to try and remember people, please.
Got it. Okay.
Remember. Okay. So, trying to pretend you're relaxing. What are you saying through the sending stone?
I'm not anymore because the dude was watching. So cover's blown. Just gonna play it off smoothly, like I'm not doing anything different. And I'll try again later, on the next
Alright.
day, maybe.
Fair enough. The rest of the day goes on. The ship sails quite calmly out of the Bay of Chult. As you guys start getting towards the peninsula, you notice all of the crew rush up to the top deck. Anyone that's below deck will watch them all run up. Everyone that's above deck watches every one of them go and stand around the border of the ship.
Can Tao see what they're looking at? Because he will be up top.
Looking out, you can see that what they're watching is the 3 pirate ships out in the Bay of Chult. Just circling like sharks out in the bay.
How are the crew? Are the crew watching just out of curiosity, or are they panicked?
Roll an insight check. Natural 20.
Oh, yay.
Nice. All right. The vast majority of the crew seem excited as they see them.
Excited in a
Excited to see the pirates.
Oh.
okay kid. Howard's going to approach one of them. These are the pirates of the coast, are they not?
This random individual kind of a scrawny kind of fellow, looking up at you. I don't know what you've been told, but no, they're not pirates, they're privateers.
I apologize. I do not understand the term, but you seem very excited to see them.
Well, if you're lucky enough, every once in a while you might be able to watch them take a ship down.
I'm too worried that they will be taking this ship down.
Oh no, we'll be fine. They're not going to attack our ship, but sometimes you get to watch them take someone else's ship down. Mm-hmm.
Why would they let them do that?
Because the privateers are stronger.
Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah. He pats you back. Yeah.
The strong normally outweigh the weak.
Mm-hmm.
But why would they do this?
Well, that's because the weaker ones, they're trespassing, you see. They're breaking into the home of these privateers by sailing this way and not doing it right. So just like you or I would defend our homes, that's all that those ships over there would be doing. Sadly, it appears there's no one to... They're not doing much today. We'll probably catch them on the way back.
What? They would not tell them to leave?
Of course, they would give them the chance and all that. You know, they'd be civil. I mean, it's not like the pirates or anything. But they'd give them the opportunity. Then if they continue to refuse, then they'd have problems. That's all.
I'm used to this kind of treatment. My village also defends our land like this.
Mm-hmm.
This makes total sense.
Good. Cool. I like you.
Thank you.
Right.
Well,
As the ship... Yeah, go ahead.
well, if Carmen saw loads of people rushing upstairs, she would have definitely popped her head out and seen what was going on. Maybe seen this conversation, not heard it, but seen the conversation happening, and then just kind of like checked everyone's all right, everyone's got a smile on their face. Yeah. Leave them to it.
Okay. Anyone else care to do anything while the crew have run upstairs to watch the sights?
I'll use the sending ring now.
There you
This would
go.
be a very opportune time.
So what are you saying?
Saying, traveling by ship to Mesero. Are you sick?
Is that it?
Yep.
Not that I know of. Why do you ask?
Tell you tomorrow.
Okay. P.S. This might take a while. Alright. So no, Xanthi, your stepmother, foster mother, whatever, it doesn't appear to be sick, or at least she doesn't think she is. If she is. Shago seems to be struggling.
Oh, poor Shago.
He doesn't like being on boats. As the ship begins to turn, the waves kind of rock the boat quite considerably, and he starts to get a little bit seasick from this motion. He prefers the solid ground to being on the boat. Hence, again, also why Zola was the one that does all the boat trip stuff instead of him. The day will go by quite calmly. The first day of travel, which is good. You make good progress. But coming back down, you don't have the wind at your back as readily as you did when you were leaving Fort Belawarian. So the going slows down considerably. On the second day, the captain approaches Zola, since she is the most seaworthy of the group, by the looks of things, or at least from his impression. I be needing help from your crew.
What do you need?
It's come to my attention that the lower belly of the ship isn't in a seaworthy shape. Could do with some cleaning and some repairs. Can you folk manage it?
I think so. Do you have the tools?
Hey, mop, bucket, scrub.
Does anything need to be repaired on the outside of the ship?
Don't think so.
Okay.
We're not sinking, so we're okay.
It's just because you're short-handed?
Hey.
I'm gonna insight check that.
Go ahead. It is not because you're short-handed.
We're a very strange-looking crew, so...
Definitely that was a lie. Do you react to it? Do you pick up on it? Do you do anything?
Is there anything that I could have... Is there anything that I could perceive about him? Like, is he putting us in a predicament of danger? Is he twitching or sweating or a little bit or anything?
With your 20 on your insight check, it seems more a case of he's trying to keep you busy.
Oh, okay. All right. Whew. All right. That's completely reasonable and understandable. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We can totally do that.
Yeah. Right. So,
Bless you.
being told to clean up the ship, a member of the crew will point out some of the areas that particularly not as clean as they should be. Obviously, the living quarters where all of the hammocks are kept look pretty bad, but there's a section at the top of the ship where there's a table, chairs, a lot of card games and gambling has gone on there. Also, a lot of bodily fluids have managed to find themselves all over that area. So how do you deal with that? Or how do you task your crew to deal with these cleaning issues?
I'll gather everybody on the top deck, because I know that Tower doesn't like to be down there, and ask if... Or are you guys going to be willing to put in some work? A little bit? Reasonable amount?
I have magical powers at my disposal. As you've seen, both Carmen and Grigori just clean things up with the wave of their hands. I also have the facility to repair things via magical means. So I'm happy to be of use and to show the practicality of the arcane arts.
Okay, great. In that case, Averine, I'm going to make you the foreman of the hardware repair. So that's going to be Greco and Tower. If you guys could go with Averine, she can kind of show you what to do and how to do it. We've got the tools available down there.
Perfect.
Maybe Tower, you can work on the top deck, and Greco, you can work on the bottom, and then Averine, just help them.
I can shape wood if that helps.
That would help a lot. Make sure you don't take it from anywhere else, though, that is needed and necessary. They have a pile of wood that they have dedicated for these repairs.
Tower, it's all right actually. You can take the wood. I'll repair whatever you take.
Carmen, Grigori, are you guys available for this? I won't make you do any hard manual labor. You could probably use your magic for everything.
We can always make a deal.
What would you want for a little bit of cleanup?
You could ask me very politely. That would be a fair exchange, don't you think?
Is that it?
Grigori, would you please be so kind as to aid me in cleaning the lower portion of the cabin? Pretty please.
My pleasure, dearie.
Thank you. What about you, Carmen? Are you up for this?
People are so hesitant about deals. Deals don't have to be big deals.
Just little deals.
How long do you need?
A normal working day is probably about 6 hours. We'll probably finish before that, though.
Carmen, I'll make you a deal. If you'd care to play for me, I'll do all the work.
That would be acceptable.
I'll tell you what, I'll play, but I will also help in between songs, because then we can get it done quicker.
As you wish.
And then equally, I can do less.
So everyone wins.
There we go.
So everyone gets involved in the helping of the crew, focusing mostly on the lower section of the ship. This helps free the more tasked individuals from up above. You notice as the day goes on, as another day passes, those 3 individuals and the captain look ever so slightly weaker, as every day will continue to go. 3 days into the journey, one of those, yeah, go ahead.
Before the end of the second day,
Mm-hmm.
If Carmen would have noticed that they would have been getting worse,
Yep.
She's since having new spells, she would cast Sending.
Okay.
And send a message to her father.
Okay. What does the message say?
So message is sorry to hear you are ill. Love you. Other people here are also ill. I'm trying to find a cure.
So,
Yeah, I've got 25.
Got 5 more,
Yeah.
I believe.
Please hold on. Miss you.
Aww. So, a moment later, a carefully thought out response. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Make sure you stay safe. Finding a cure for me isn't as important as you coming home. Miss you.
Oh, dads.
I need him. Okay.
Okay. Right.
I think Greco might also, if he sees that any of them are really on the verge of death, just like kind of take some time with them to at least find out, like, if they were to die on the boat, how they would like to be handled. Like if there's a particular funeral rite that is specific to their upbringing or life on the boat that they would like to have done should they die on board and not have a way to get home otherwise, to go where they would most prefer, so that he can see to it then if any of them do die, they can be treated as they would like to be.
Speaking specifically to those 3 individuals that appear to be afflicted by this curse, the captain won't talk about it.
Right.
Just flat out, there's no way he'll talk about it. You'd have to get him drunk for...
Right.
anything.
Well, and Greco has no interest in pushing anybody because it is a sensitive subject.
So those individuals that look like they're afflicted, sadly enough, they don't have any families to go home to.
Mm-hmm.
And so each of them, the ship, the sea is their home, their family. Should they die at sea, they simply ask that they be given a burial at sea.
That can certainly be arranged, but we'll hope that it doesn't come to that.
Of course. As they start getting worse and worse, there'll be a day where one of them is still alive, but completely incapable of standing up. His frail body is broken. He tries to get up, but just can't. And he's barely capable of even eating food, unhelped.
Greco will see to at least helping him eat and staying comfortable. He would cast maybe like enhance ability for constitution on it, just so he can kind of feel well as whatever's transpiring kind
Threat
of goes
has been
through him
detected.
or her.
If
Yeah.
Tara was prepared, he can cast Goodberry, and that would sustain him with one portion. And he prepare that for the crew if they're struggling to eat.
It's a good idea. Okay. As you watch this one crew member getting worse, this last day, it seems like everything just catches up with him. Particularly you, Greco, as you're kind of trying to focus on him, make sure that he's well, and anyone that really pays attention to him notices that one of the large scars right across his chest is no longer looking like a scar. It looks like fresh wounds.
Mhm.
And you swear you can even watch it begin to split open as it opens up across his chest slowly throughout the course of the day. You can tell that, according to what you understand, this curse is afflicting those who have died previously
Mhm.
and been resurrected. This wound, if he suffered this wound previously, this would have been the killing wound.
Would I think, I don't know if this is within the realm of what Sacred Flame could even do, but could he, without having any effect on what happens to this guy in the end, but use that to at least cauterize what's happening as it happens to make sure he doesn't suffer unduly as this goes on?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do.
You can use Sacred. You can kind of combine Sacred Flame with the odd cure wounds here and there to keep him conscious, but without the pain.
Yeah.
As it slowly begins to grow, the tissue will split. You'll keep the actual organs cauterized and closed off from being open, but the gouge is deep.
Yeah.
The next morning, a crew member will not wake up.
Rest in peace, buddy.
The captain walks down, goes to see on him, sees that the guy doesn't wake up, doesn't say a word. Everyone seemed to be expecting it to happen. So he picks up the young man, carries him to his quarters, and lays him in the bed, while arranging the crew to get together for a funeral for him. It'll be a simple thing. Mostly they'll just put him on a raft and put it out to sea, and let him float off wherever he may go. Would any of you be doing anything while the crew are preparing for a funeral on board?
I would just make myself handy as much as possible without getting in the way, because I don't want to infringe on their practices, but I do want to make sure they know that I'm here to help.
I'll take the opportunity to slip away and respond to Mother from
Mhm.
yesterday. Let her know there's a sickness that is killing people that have been resurrected.
Can I try to catch her sneaking away? Since she's doing it multiple days in a row.
So both of you whisper. Stealth versus perception. In case you don't know, roll 20, go to your settings. You should be able to say whisper roll.
So my perception, I mean, I'm not gonna make it. My perception's crap.
You notice she's gone, but you don't see where she went. You don't see the moment that she went. She was very quiet and quick. Anything else you would say, Zola? Sorry to have...
Nope, that was it.
Okay. So just that there seems to be a sickness that's affecting those who have been resurrected. Okay. Well, good thing I was smart enough not to die.
Yep.
From what I've heard, this, resurrections are becoming impossible.
Okay. I might actually take that news to Greco if he doesn't already know it.
I don't think he would. He just knows that they're undoing, but not that they're blocked entirely.
Greco, I'm just taking him aside. I've been talking to my mom through the ring.
Mhm.
We've mentioned the curse or the disease, whatever's going on, and she told me that she's received information that bringing people back is straight up not working. It's becoming impossible, she said.
That is a curious and troubling development of this. Do we know what's happening to the souls of the dead then? Are they not communicating with the attempts to resurrect, or are they simply absent?
I will ask. I'll have to do so tomorrow.
Okay. Of course. Let me know what you find out, even if they don't know. And we can possibly, now knowing this, can use this to maybe find other people that would know if they don't.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
If everyone is gathered, I'd try to pull the party away from the crew while they're organizing this funeral procession or funeral ritual.
Yep.
And I'll say, all right, our mission is we're in an interesting position with regard to our mission. The item that Blaze wants us to get, and I'm trying to keep this down so as not to alert the rest of the crew. The item will, she believes anyway, the item will prevent her demise. If anyone were to find out about this item, with all these people and their loved ones fallen left and right, surely it will become a very prized possession. And if anyone knows that we have it, they might try to take it from us. And so it's probably best that we do these things as discreetly as possible. But in addition, the ring will only help one person, possibly. And if everyone is vulnerable to this disease, then maybe we should keep an eye out for what the actual cause is. If we could remedy the cause, then the ring will still be presumably worthwhile to someone, but the cure for everyone will be surely the best outcome for everyone.
Presumably, it's already worthwhile to its current owner. And if the rumors I hear are correct, the ring may grant some form of invulnerability. So if the opportunity presents itself, again, the purpose of this is to go to Mesro to deal with the issues at Mesro. The ring is important, but somewhat secondary. But be very wary if we meet the gentleman Commander Portier described. He may have some invincibility we don't know about.
If we get hold of the ring, then I can take care of it. I don't mind keeping hold of it and looking after it.
Oh, you seem like a type who'd do very well with jewelry.
See, I'm so good. Look, I don't lose any of my jewelry.
Are you actually wearing jewelry?
I've got earrings and stuff, yeah. And I've got necklace on, yeah.
It's true. Nobody would question a ring worn by a young singer.
See?
Whereas if I wore the ring, people might be skeptical. Should we find it?
Yeah.
Kids in plain sight, it does make sense.
Okay. The day will go by with a bit of a somber tone as the funeral is performed. The captain will personally place the crew member onto the raft, lower him into the water, and then let the raft float off into the distance. As he begins to say a prayer, he mumbles it mostly. A few words can be caught here and there. It's not so much a prayer as much as an accounting of what that crew member did on board. He was a good man. He did this. He sailed with me on this occasion, and I honor him for his behavior and his bravery in the face of this and that. And I gave a good historical list of the major points of this young man's life, pre-death and resurrection and post, before then letting the body just disappear off into the horizon. As soon as it does go, he turns around, gives a nod to his crew. Right, back to work then, boys. Let's go. Everyone, back in your spots. Do this and pull the thing and wave, all of that, and
mainsail,
do this.
lanyards, rigging.
Pull that thing and the other thing, all of that good
Back
stuff.
to the east, catch the wind.
Yeah. Leading on the fourth day, as it arrives, the captain approaches Carmen this time. Takes her off to, not to one side, but makes it clear that he'd like to talk with you privately.
That's fine.
Well, you must forgive me for what I did earlier.
Forgive you? Why would you need forgiveness?
I have been told I disrespected you on our first meet.
Yes, slightly. In which case, you are forgiven.
Thank you. I apologize. But it seems I could do with your help this matter.
Really?
Yes. Morale is a little bit low after the death of young
Charlie?
I was going to call him Nesbit. We can go with Charlie Nesbit. There we go. With young CN. He was a good lad. But seeing him gone, it puts a bit of a downer on the crew. You say you're an entertainer. Can you bring up the morale?
I can give it a try.
Okay.
Right now?
Well, yes,
Do you have any alcohol?
I have ale.
How
Lots of
much?
it.
They're sailors, of course they have alcohol.
I know. I'm checking how much I've got.
Rum.
Any rum?
Always rum.
Where's
I'm
the
going to
rum?
roll an insight check on you.
Ale is not my tickle, you see. So,
Roll a persuasion or deception.
ooh. I'm going to roll a... Which?
We got more than enough in my own personal stores. Also take it from the crews. They've got more than enough. They don't need as much ale as they have.
What about the rum?
The rum's gone.
Why is the rum gone? Insight check. I'm not that good on insight. No, it's not that good.
You believe him.
The rum's gone.
Yep. All right. So taking the ale, and as much as you want, you're welcome to, at any point in this day, start a performance that will build up the morale of his crew. While that's going on, he gathers the rest of you together. Well, while she's busy, could do with a wee bit of help. A bit of an accident, you see. And he'll gather you towards his private quarters. Long story short, one of the barrels that I keep in my personal store broke open, and I could do with you guys just gathering some of the stuff up together and putting it into a new barrel. It's simple. I have other things I need to do, but I could really do with at least one of your help with this matter.
Sure, I'll do it if some of
I
you guys
wanna-
can keep an eye on Carmen.
I want to insight check that. It just sounds so like.
Yeah,
I don't know what I would insight other than like it already sounds fishy.
Why is he trying to keep us busy?
Why do you keep me with the man?
Roll insight checks. With your natural 20 on insight checks. I think both times today it's been on it. Yep, insight and then insight again. Yeah, there's definitely something fishy with this guy. Not just the fact that as you catch a glimpse, the task that he would like you to do is to gather up a whole bunch of fish that are broken out of a tank and put it into another barrel.
That is fishy.
But he just seems to be a little off. Yes, there's something wrong with the way that he's trying to keep you guys busy.
I'm just going to nudge Zola and go. Small shake of the head. See, like to say, like, to indicate that this doesn't seem that something's not right.
Captain, may I have a sidebar with you?
Sure. Okay. So he steps off with you.
All right. So there's more to what you're having us do than you've initially told us. Now, I need to make sure that my crew is safe and accounted for and not in danger. Would you be willing to tell me why you're trying to keep us busy and giving us these very weird odd jobs that...
Roll a persuasion check.
While she's talking to him, I'm going to go up to Carmen and Averine and just suddenly be like, everyone's busy up here with... No, Carmen's performing. I'm just going to grab Averine then and Greco. Say, everyone's kind of busy up here. I think we should see if we can get into the captain's cabin downstairs while everyone's occupied. Just going to put that out there.
That seems like a very a big violation of trust with the captain.
Very well, Grigori Averine.
Well, yeah, I agree. He's keeping us busy. Either he doesn't want us snooping around his cabin, or he doesn't want us snooping around whatever cargo they're hauling. If they're hauling any cargo, I forgot to check. But I do not wish to put our steerage in jeopardy. I don't want to be cast off the ship.
Fair point.
Where are we at the moment?
So, you guys have been gathered underneath the lower deck. Zola has taken him off to the side to talk privately. With your persuasion, like, look, these are things that need to get done. I've got all of my men doing lots of things. After the funeral, they need a bit of perking up. There's work that needs doing. And it wouldn't be right of me to make my men do these tasks on this day. That's all.
Can I ask a question? The fish on the floor, there's like water they spill out, and then he wants it in another barrel.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm just going to do shape water. I'm going to gather the water up and collect the fish and scoop it into another barrel with a couple of times with the cantrip.
Okay.
Your task is done.
You're working on that. It'll take you some time. Zola, you're still having the conversation with the captain. What would you like to say?
I guess you don't have to tell me, but can you at least assure me that we'll be safe?
Oh, of course. No danger whatsoever.
And I will definitely insight check that.
Absolutely true.
Okay. All right. So
No
long as
danger
we're
to
not
you.
in danger.
But he's definitely trying to keep you busy.
How are you, by the way? How are you holding up?
I'm fine. You just don't need to worry about me.
Okay. I will if you ask me to.
Anyways, and he will start walking back up towards, at which point, yes, Tower has finished using magic to make the job that much quicker. He's mumbling under his breath. He's quite annoyed that...
Are we frustrating the captain because he gives us jobs and we just whip through him with magic?
Very much
You should
so.
keep him busy for at least 3 hours, and then we're done. Dang it.
As every one of his crew is not magically inclined, you guys seem to be more than capable of getting everything done a little too quickly. So you'll be able to enjoy the performance. Another day will go by.
Can I tell my peoples here, while he doesn't want to tell me the real reason why he's giving us these crap jobs, he does assure me that we're not under any danger or threat. So it's possible they're just speaking amongst each other and they don't want us to overhear it.
I can observe them if you wish.
Anyone's welcome to give it a shot.
Can you read lips, Tower?
No, but I can become things that they do not notice.
Like an octopus in the middle of it.
I was thinking more like a rat.
They might try and kick.
That might happen. So that'll be for a surprise.
Averine did make a good point. My natural curiosity was getting the better of me, but she tempered that a bit.
Oh, I could disguise myself as one of the crew. And see if the captain passes any information to.
I think he's pretty familiar with the faces of his crew.
I can become one of those faces.
Well, if we don't want to metaphorically or literally rock the boat, perhaps we let the captain keep his secrets and we keep ours.
Shargo just packs up. Please don't rock the boat.
It is too big for me to rock it.
In the evening of this particular day, just before sun goes down, the crew get a little bit more agitated and active. All of them start running around. You hear the captain shouting orders very loudly, and the louder he gets, the less intelligible his words get, as he's screaming at his crew to man their battle stations. He starts shouting for each of you individually to head up to the upper deck. Perception checks from everyone.
That was obviously.
Yeah, of course you were already there.
Oh, that's where it happens.
I'll always take your passive. So what's your passive?
17.
17, okay. So we've got a 17.
Passive is 13,
Passive is 13.
not 6.
Okay. 16 for Zola, because passive. 13 for Gregory. 18 for Averine. 13. 20. Okay. Those that rolled a 15 or higher, or their passive was 15 or higher, notice that the reason why they're getting a little bit more agitated is off on the horizon, they see a ship. And their ship is getting closer and closer to this one. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Captain, are we expecting this vessel or ought we to be shooting at it?
It is okay. It is simply privateers. They are up and down this coast.
He looks at you a little incredulously. No, I don't expect a ship out on this side. There's not really any ports anywhere around here. It shouldn't be the case. We will tread lightly, but we're not going to fire until we feel the need.
Well, I can fire further than most. I'll just leave it at that.
Carmen, what were you going to say?
Who do you think it is that everybody's been running around like this?
I have no idea. Just it's a ship. Just everyone's gone to the battle stations just in case.
Insight check.
Insight check. It's true. He doesn't know yet. As the ship continues to make its way further south,
What time of day is it?
It's evening time. The sun is setting.
Okay. All right.
The ship keeps getting bigger and bigger as you get closer and closer. You can see this is a Viking longship style, but it gets bigger and bigger. It's a couple 100 feet long now at this point as you're getting closer to it. It is a giant longship on the horizon, and we will rejoin that and figure out what's going with that after our 15-minute break. So stick with us and join us after 15 minutes for a break. In the meantime, on your screens sometime soon, you should see today's Who's That Monster? So take a look at it, type in chat who you think that monster is, and first one that gets it right wins. So join us in 15 minutes. Thank you. Bye. Welcome back, everyone, from after the break. Thank you very much. And our Who's That Monster today was the Wraith. So, well done, Walk Machine, on getting that right. Well done. The Wraith was the monster that last week hurt Greco in such a way that he learned that part of the death curse involves hit point maximum reductions becoming permanent.
It's a very, very rude thing for that wraith to do.
Yeah, rude thing. That scar will not heal. So, we rejoin the party, the adventurers, as this giant longship comes into view. The captain is sailing the ship forward. He's got all of his men at battle stations, but they all have the express order not to fire. They are approaching, and they are going to wait to see what the giant ship does. Do any of you intervene?
Averine would like to first cast Comprehend Languages in case she can start picking up some giant words over the sounds of the sea. And then she will also cast Detect Thoughts once she believes she has spotted a giant that she can see and see if she can get what they're thinking.
Okay. The range on Detect Thoughts is pretty short.
Within 30 feet. So yes.
You would have to be on board the ship for that to work. Would you still do it?
Probably not, no. But I will still be comprehending languages.
Okay. As the ship gets closer to the giant boat, you notice two giants stood up. That's it. Just two giants stood on the boat themselves. The boat itself is actually quite close to a beach. The boat has been anchored. You can clearly see a huge chain that dangles off the side as these two giants are walking back and forth along the ship. They have seen your ship, you can tell that quite easily, and a moment later a third giant sits up and looks out. What?
Can you tell us what type of giants they are?
Yeah.
Perception checks from everyone. Anyone got a passive of 15 or higher?
17.
17, okay.
Could I not do a history check if I would have?
Yes,
dealt with
history,
giants?
definitely, yeah, history would work. Nope. All right.
It's just attacked like Felborg apart giant. I'm just trying to figure out who we can know what ways as well.
So, Averine Zola with your passive and Tower, and Gregory. Greco. So
Finally
everyone
saw
but
something.
Carmen.
And I probably would have seen him at some point.
All notice that by the way that they have the horned helmets and the type of armor they're wearing, particularly with the look of the giant that sits up, these are frost giants.
Dun dun dun.
Personally, you guys didn't deal too much with frost giants in the previous campaign. Your players, not your adventurers, your players. But here they are outside Chult for some reason, 20 years later, after the Ordning was reorganized.
So do we know anything about frost giants traditionally? In general? Like, are they more aggressive? What's their general temperament?
It's easy for everyone to know and understand that why are frost giants down here? Chult is hot. It's far down south. Frost giants stay up by the Sea of Moving Ice, up at the very north. That's where the frost giants keep themselves. It seems strange that they would be here.
Do they look like they're approaching us, having seen us, or have they just seen us and they're
No,
not?
Well,
their
they're
boat
anchored
is
offshore, right?
Because they're anchored, yeah.
And it's anchored just offshore.
Does the ship look damaged?
No, it doesn't. The captain, looking at the lot of you, hey, what do you think?
This is usual for this kind of giants to be here. No? I can try to communicate if you wish. I do understand their dialect.
You wanna talk?
I
can
would
also
probably wish to shout. They are quite far away.
We could also simply continue on and go around them. It's unusual that they are here, but we are on a travel of some importance, and if they will not be coming out to us, we have no reason to approach them.
Can we not avoid them?
I believe that might be the most prudent course.
We can certainly try. Boys, bring her around, move around. And he tries to guide them off away. As the ship begins to try to sail away from the giant ship, you notice one of the giants step up, pull a nice, large ballista, and rest it along the side of the ship.
I have foreseen this moment. And I recall in my visions that he rolled a 2 when he aimed the ballista.
We don't know if he's firing it yet, do we? Is he firing it?
As he aims the ballista and shouts at the top of his voice, he tries to say, "Halt! Don't go anywhere," in common, but and try to sound intimidating. Unfortunately, his common is very broken and bad. He rolled a 2 with his intimidation check, and it came out to be more approximation of boat sail to me, more than, hey, halt, what are you doing? But his weapon is still trained on you. Still gonna move around.
It's not exactly as I saw it. The visions, they're not an exact science.
I'm gonna shout and join. What do you want?
We want to talk.
In giant,
In giant, that's what he shouts back.
they wish to speak with us.
As you would say, Parlay.
They wish-
Parlay. What's
Parlay.
parlay?
Inside check.
go ahead and roll an insight check. Zola can explain to the party what a parlay is.
If I understood them at all.
Insight checks are flawless.
You're okay. Something's broken with your sheet. Roll another insight check.
What? No.
Just to verify.
I'm still gonna take it. I just want to verify.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so
Trust but
27.
verify.
He does want to talk. That's for certain. I mean, you can't really trust him, but he definitely wants to talk.
Does he want to parlay though?
Yes.
Perhaps, Captain, the vessel should stay further away, and one of those boat dinghies, a small group could go over to discuss, so we do not risk the larger vessel.
Yes.
If they have information about Mesro, this may be worthwhile.
Yes.
Then who's getting on the boat?
I will go.
I will go as well.
I'll go.
I am Spartacus.
Iron.
What does it even mean?
Oh, my heart. Everyone's volunteering. No one wants people to get in trouble, so everyone volunteers together to put themselves in danger for the benefit of people they care about.
You're so old.
I will go, but I can also communicate. But if things go badly, I can shift it into a squid and pull the boat back to the ship.
I can also turn aquatic and just swim back.
So
Let's all go.
little dinghy. You all slowly row over towards the giant launch.
Would we know of any like something we can wave or signal that we can give to make it known that we're not coming
shout
to it?
him just to indicate we will not bring our vessel to you, but we will meet you halfway.
Meet halfway? Okay.
Meet halfway, parlay.
All right.
Sure.
The giants jump.
Does Tyler knows what that means, or is he just using words that he's heard on the boat?
Avast parlay.
They're close enough to shore that the water just more or less hits their chest as they walk up away from the boat.
I'll tell the
Okay.
captain. Captain, you should take the ship out of range of their ballistae. We'll catch up to you. Just stay away from the ship.
Okay. Will do.
Whatever dinghy we've got, I'm just going to make sure there's a rope on the front of it that we can tie off, and then I'm going to put that around me. And then,
as you approach, and as the giants approach up to you, the three of them, the larger of the three, wearing a shining white set of scale armor, giant-sized scale mail, which you could assume, with the amount of scales on it, either many or dragons or one big one was killed for this piece. He steps forward, and in giant, I am the Jarl.
this
Who
one
represents you. Sorry, what did you say?
I'm just gonna communicate that back. Which one represents us?
You speak their language.
Oh, this is the dangerous person to represent us then.
I am the only one. We speak as one. To communicate with you.
I'm going, as we decide that he'll be the one to do it, I'm going to just bestow a blessing upon him from Calvor and give him enhanced charisma for this encounter.
Oh,
right.
Huh?
So you have advantage on
Yeah.
ability checks that involve charisma.
Hey, that that can turn a -1 or a 0 into like a 10. So.
Okay. So, as you present yourself to speak to them, you are native to this land?
No. But my friend here is. Now gesture to Zerg and Greco. These two local to this land.
Then looking back and forth between. Sorry, between those two.
Yep,
Go ahead.
is Shago with us or not with us?
Shago would be with you.
Okay.
Yeah. He would be
And
with
this one especially.
Hello. He doesn't speak giant, so he's just nodding along, looking good. We seek guidance and knowledge of this land. Do you know this land?
I wish to know this land well.
The northern parts, I do.
I've traveled the lands, but did not take much heed of where I was, just the journey itself, so I don't know how useful my knowledge is.
What do they need? Maybe we can still give them whatever they're wanting.
We are seeking a place that is newly cold. We are looking for a spot in your peninsula, that has recently become cold.
I'm gonna.
Is he speaking in common or is he speaking in giant?
Giant.
So giant.
Then you explain it
Giant,
to
right.
those.
What knowledge could that be to know?
History, to see if you've heard of anything.
Okay.
Nature, to know if you've encountered
Yeah.
any areas of nature that have been particularly cold on your travels.
Sure, neither of them are good roles for me, so.
What is the name of this place that you seek?
We do not seek a place with a name, but a place that was once like the rest of the peninsula, but has recently become cold. A place we might settle.
Why are they... Ask why they're trying to leave where they were. Has something going on, something that maybe we could help them with?
I'll transfer that.
Do you mention maybe we can help them with?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check
With advantage.
with advantage, Tower.
I almost a translation. From -1, guys. Come on.
Oh, you're doing good. You're doing good. We are not running away from some place, but wish to settle here. Tell me now if there is a place in the land that is now cold.
Much
Well,
of this land is uncharted. Such
If he's
a location may be unknown. How do you know for sure there is such a place?
Zola, what were you going to ask? Just
if he's looking for a place to settle, they need to coordinate with the other civilizations that are already here. So to ensure that they're not picking a place that's already taken, I would say go to Port Nyanzaru and actually talk to some of the merchant princes.
we have used methods to find evidence that what we seek is here. What we seek causes temperature to drop around it.
You seek an item?
Yes, an heirloom of my heritage. Perhaps we can come to an agreement.
Greco's just gonna kind of. Oh well, is this being translated as it goes, or is this?
Yeah.
Greco's just gonna kind of look at Grigori. Like
To this point, Grigori's figured I don't speak giants. Just kind of like, all right. Mm-hmm.
If we gave you a description of something, and you were to find this something for us, we would reward you heavily.
Do I remember Commander Porter said that ring, something about it had to do with cold? The first time she mentioned it to me?
Yes. The first time she mentioned it to you, she called it the Ring of Winter.
God. So she did. Tower, that might be useful. Follow up on that.
You wish for me to communicate the ring is what we seek as well?
No. That they are offering perhaps a trade in information. That trade is good, don't you think?
Yes. Okay, and I'll kind of what we are interested in your proposition. What information could you give us to help this along?
We know that the area around here somewhere has been touched by that which we seek. We will help you, help us find it, or we destroy your boat.
Oh. Well, then we should help.
This was a parlay. Under those terms, I believe that you will be breaking this thing. No?
We are no pirates.
Then what?
Privateers. We've established this. Privateers.
We will claim that which we seek. Either help us or hinder us. Live or die.
We are wishing to do neither. We are simply having conversation to assist you if we
Well,
can.
do they have any more information on what this cold thing is?
If you have heard of such a place, then perhaps you know a better location than just. Is it to the north or the south of the continent?
I have a method of finding the item when it is within a certain distance.
If we are making our way to the jungle of this land, it is treacherous, but we have guides and people that know their way. If we come across such a place, we will be passing back this way soon and can give you this information. Would be journeying south, so perhaps if you travel north and you do not find anything, we will pass. We will pass this information to you, and for mutual trade.
Gregory, did you mention that you were already looking for the ring out loud in common to Tower?
I think I would have said, that ring. Commander Portier did call it the Ring of Winter once. I don't. That's all. I don't know any more than that, but that is something she said. But we also expect the ring to be much closer to Mesro than we are now.
The giant looks around all of you, switches to common as he can speak common. You, Red One, you know of the ring of which we seek. The gods have muted him.
Oh, sorry. You have not told us yet what you seek. You seek someplace cold. I have heard tell of a ring called Ring of Winter. Most rings with fancy names are simply metal, brass, steel. That it is a name may mean nothing, unless you can share more about what you are seeking.
We seek the ring that you seek. Now tell me where it is.
Oh, I believe it's south of here. I don't actually know.
He turns to his companions. Very well. Thank you for your guidance, Red One.
This is a very large continent. I do not think south of here, when you are still in the far northernmost region, is that helpful. Perhaps we could strike a deal.
What would you ask?
Well, you say you can find something if you get close enough to it. How close is close? You've come from a much greater distance seeking this thing. Can you reckon it from 20 leagues away? 40 leagues away? Must you be in the same house?
25 miles. And if you convert that to leagues and whatnot, it's...
Sure. Grigori just resurrected it. And what do you seek to do with the ring?
That is our business, not yours. You will be heavily rewarded by all of giant kind if you were to help us.
It does no one any good if it can't be found to begin with. So perhaps we could work together to find it. And then, depending on the circumstances, if we all die trying to find it, then you can go off with it. If you all die trying to find it, we can go off with it. Or, better still, all of us survive and we can decide what to do then.
Roll a persuasion check.
Can it be deception? Since I may be lying about what I plan to do with these guys?
Yeah, go on. 15. Okay. He steps ever so slightly closer to the boat, rests a hand on the front, and tips it over.
I misty stepped.
Where to?
Behind the
30
ballista.
foot away.
The ballista. The ballista that's aiming right at them.
It's very.
I
it's
had a
rude.
reaction too, but Carl beat me.
Okay. So what would your reaction be?
If he was putting the hand on the boat, I would have gone for my blades and started for him. He doesn't get to touch the boat.
All right.
Oh wait.
Initiative.
Yeah,
Please. Misty Step won't be far enough for you to be able to.
So I don't do that.
The idea was to run up his hand, essentially.
So if he's coming forward and Zola's like about to like go stab him in the eyes repeatedly, I would try to cast charm person. Is he a person?
You all,
Does charm person work on him?
all
Or it wouldn't
need
work.
to wait until the initiative is rolled.
Ah,
Okay.
I was just so excited.
But these are all things we would have done, you know,
That's right. That's right.
preemptively. big old case of the wouldas.
Yeah. Now that we've failed, I would have done it completely differently if I had more time.
Oh, I'm so zoomed out. I gotta get in close. Too close.
It's too close. You never be
Yeah.
too close.
Okay.
Can I ask, did he flip it and keep his hand on the boat when he did it? Has he turned it over?
He went to turn it over. So more than just a flip up, he tried to flip it over.
How close to the shore are we? Because I know you said that they were close enough to the shore where it comes up like halfway on them or so.
Comes up to their chest, so the water is about 25 foot deep.
That is a lot of
point.
Grecos deep.
But the vessel's
Lots of
still
crackers.
entirely floating. It's not like the vessel's touching the beach, right?
This end of their big boat is in the water, but the other end of their big boat is up against the ground. All right.
So the shore is the other way, like
Yes,
towards the
towards the
looking at
west.
this- towards what 4? I'm looking at the
Yes, the four.
at the direct.
Okay, anyone missing from the turn order? Did someone roll initiative for the boat?
I look like it.
I think I rolled initiative for the boat.
Well, it gets a saving throw from being flipped.
Yeah.
Calm.
The boat
We
gets
have
to-
Carmen, Averine, Zola, Tower, Grigori, Greco. Okay, so everyone is there. I have 1, 2 frost giants, so I'm missing a frost giant.
Alawando not.
Would Alawando be there?
Mm.
Okay. So, he is... The timing of this situation, he's the one that's going forward to attack it. Yes, Zola, you're saying that you would run up, but it's as a reaction of seeing him moving. Roll a dexterity check. Okay. You can use an action should you wish.
Okay. I have to move before I act, actually. So,
Okay.
do I get my movement too?
No, you can either dash as the action and get up on his arm, or
Yeah, no, I'd rather move and act at the same time. So I guess I'll
Okay.
hold it.
in which case it all kicks off with him flipping the boat. So the boat disappears and everyone ends up in the water.
Or it just
So- Well, it goes, flips upside down. I don't have an upside down version of the boat map, but you're all in the water.
Can we still have the boat?
You can still have the boat, but you're underneath it now at this point, or fallen out into the swimming. It's. Yeah, I'll bring it back. But remember that the boat isn't something that you can sit in. You're either underneath it, over the top, or you flip it. Okay. All right. So Tower, what do you do?
Are we submerged? Have we come up, or what's the situation?
You were flipped over. Everyone is in the water, but you're up out of the head above the surface.
I'll be like, grab hold of the boat.
So you shout to people to grab hold of the boat, and then what are you doing?
I am going to use my bonus action to turn into a giant squid.
Octopus.
Yeah, that one.
It's going to take a moment to pop into the map.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
I will use my movement to start moving away, moving the boat, turn the boat around, and moving it away, and and then I'll hold my action to do a dash. So I'm going to move it until the rope goes taut and tries to turn the capsized boat around, and I'm going to wait for everybody to grab hold, and then I'm going to dash.
Okay. The capsized boat, because of water drag, is extra difficult to be able to move through the water.
Yeah.
As a result, you're going to be at difficult terrain. Your speed will be halved for both of these.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So what is your movement speed?
You haven't given me a sheet yet.
Swim speed of 60 foot. There's your giant octopus.
Thank you very much.
Right, it's just the generic one. I'll fiddle with everything later. Right, so you'll be able to move and get the capsized ship turned.
Yeah, and I'm just going to hold my action so everybody grabs hold, and then I'll dash, bonus action dash.
Already?
No, as when everybody grabs hold, that's my holding my reaction. No, not bonus action dash, but I'll dash as my action.
Okay.
Hold my action. So it's
Right.
a bonus action to thingy, no movement, and then hold my action.
As you swam away, the frost giant Jarl is going to strike out at you
Yeah, that's fine.
with a 15 to hit you.
Probably going to hit. Yeah, that hits.
Okay. You take 23 points of slashing damage.
Yep. Ouch.
Greco, what are you doing?
Well, that was bad. So I'm going to grab hold of the boat so that when it starts going, I'm going. And I'm going to use... I'm going to cast... Let's see. I'm going to cast Bane on... Let's see, are they within 30 feet of me? The other two aren't, but the one is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then instead of Bane, since I can only target one of them anyway, I'm going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement to weaken that guy and slow it down at least until we can get a good run out of here while holding on. So I'm using my free hand to do the somatic components and the rest of me to run away or
Okay,
hold
go
on
ahead.
to run away. Yeah.
Go ahead and cast your spell. Right, Ray of Enfeeblement needs to roll... Oh, okay, so make a ranged spell attack against the
Oh,
target.
it didn't do that on default. You know, I think it's actually... Let me see. I think I have it automated on the other side. Sorry. I don't. All right, so it's D20 plus 6.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out those macros after we're done.
I spent a good chunk of the week sorting mine out. Excited to see if they work today.
23 is going to hit.
Great.
All right, so on a hit, the target deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends.
Yeah, and so it's concentration. So obviously I'm dropping my concentration on the enhanced Eagle Splendor on him. And now I'm just holding on tight and holding my breath.
Okay, Zola.
He's already done the big guy's already done his reaction, right?
Yes, he has.
Then I will. Well, actually. Yeah. We've established grabbing onto the boat is not an action, right?
Yeah, not an action to just grab hold of it.
Okay, yeah. Well, in that case... Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna swim for him and, with one hand, the other one grabbing onto the boat, I'm gonna go for his gut underneath the water.
Okay. Poke away.
Oh. Take that.
Super poke.
And also that.
And again, because sneak attack is doubled on a crit.
That's right.
Alright. So, you run in, you slide your blade poking into him. It cleaves into his stomach quite nicely, blood spilling out into the water around you. He will take quite a bit of damage. I mean, he's not dead. He's not hurt, really. It's what? It's 19 plus 14, so 33 points of damage.
That's one sword.
Nice. With one stab. Anything else from you?
Nope. Just gonna hang on to the back here and make sure that I'm the person that's most gettable by these guys.
Okay.
Oh, but you're so squishy.
Averine, what are you gonna do?
Averine will first, with the bonus action, do a healing word at 3rd level on the octopus. It's so much healing. And then we'll move to be beside Zola. While holding on to the boat, I will ready a spell. I will ready Warding Wind.
Okay. Did you not cast a 1st level or higher spell as your action already? Or no, as your bonus action already?
Oh yes, as my bonus action. I guess I cannot prepare it.
So yeah, you can't ready another spell.
Okay, well then I will, from back there, cast Firebolt.
Okay.
And my spell sheet is here. There you go.
The flame connects with the beard, starts singeing his beard away for 10 points of fire damage.
And I will still move up after that to be beside Zola.
Okay.
And hold on to the boat.
Alright. A 1 is going to be Zola, a 2 is going to be Averine. Okay. He's going to reach out to grab Averine.
Can I ask, Shago's not in the turn order?
He is not. My bad.
That might have been the boat.
That's probably...
He's stuck underneath it, you see. loses around.
Yep. Alright, so Averine, he is going to attempt to grapple you and pull you away from the boat. So I need you to make either an athletics or an acrobatics check to avoid him.
I will cast, or use a luck.
Okay, so roll a d20.
I just do another acrobatics.
Alright, 22. Let's see how he does. He grabs you by the waist and pulls. Now, I need you to make a strength saving throw to see if you can keep hold of the boat as he pulls. You are able to keep hold of the boat. So he managed to grapple you, but he can't pull you away. He will make a second attempt to pull on you. I need you to make an athletics check, or just an athletics check.
Can I use a luck on that as well, or is it once a turn?
I don't think luck specifies as once per turn, so go ahead and roll a luck. 15. You managed to avoid it. You just keep hold of the boat. There is no way this guy is being able to pull you off. Carmen.
I'm going to move in a bit closer and use my rapier on the guy in front. I am going to try and stab him to make him let go of Averine.
26 is going to hit. 10 points piercing damage. He's still got Averine grappled.
Do you want to use one?
Yeah, I'm going to use my... Can I use my defense flourish with that as well?
Okay. So roll your defensive flourish. Okay, so you deal
Yeah.
8 extra points of damage, and your AC increases by 8 until the start of your next turn. Nice.
Nice.
Mhm.
Should D8 supposed to be an 8? Is your Bardic Inspiration die supposed to be a D8 at this point?
It's just gone up.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else from you, Carmen?
That'll be it.
You're holding on to the boat.
I am holding on to the boat.
We have a frost giant who will swim up and reach for Zola. So same thing, same situation with Zola. An athletics or acrobatics check to avoid the grapple. He grabs hold of you. He has you in his hand. I need you to roll a strength saving throw as he grabs you to keep hold of the boat. You're ripped off unless you can do something to it.
I'll be okay.
As he has hold of you, he will finish his movement back away from the boat. Gregory, what are you going to do?
Grigory is going to cast Alter Self on himself and give him aquatic adaptation, so he now breathes underwater and can move his movement speed in the water.
Okay.
And then he is going to move. His movement speed is 30 feet. He's going to move kind of just parallel perpendicularly.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, right there. So he's just going to move that way, trying to keep kind of underwater so that ideally he's already in the water when this happens.
Yep.
So he's trying to just kind of move over without people noticing where he's at. You know, mechanically speaking, hoping to invoke disadvantage if someone tries to hit him or something for moving out of the opportunity area. And I don't believe he can do anything bonus-wise, so that'll be it for his turn for now.
Okay. Then last frost giant stepping up is actually going to reach over Averine to try and grab at Carmen. I need Carmen to roll an athletics check, please.
Oh, can I do acrobatics?
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics.
18.
He misses the attempt to try and grab hold of you. He will attempt a second time.
And I'm going to use some luck.
Yeah? Go ahead and re-roll.
Is it the same one again?
Yeah.
22. Unfortunately, with his 28, he grabs hold of you. I need you to roll a strength saving throw as he pulls with the grapple to see if you can keep hold of that boat.
Where's that?
Which one?
Strength saving throw.
Strength save.
Oh, oh, oh.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure.
You can do this. You got this. Oh.
Plus luck?
You want to roll a luck?
Yeah.
Go ahead and waste. Go ahead.
Oh,
And...
mine was free.
I assume you're going to choose the 13.
I'll go.
Oh.
Wait. Can he use? This is technically an attack, so you can make him use that.
I could make him use that.
Strictly speaking, yes, but you have to declare if you're using a luck on his roll or yours before you roll.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So the lucky feat.
Yeah.
Luck. Because the specific wording does make a.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So since Tower is the one really on the other end of this tug of war, could he be the one that's doing the strength saves to keep everybody on there?
Not for their grip.
We're just a rope. Okay. Oops.
So when he declares he's going to do something, then you can say whether or not you're affecting his roll with a luck.
Okay. Yeah.
And then when you're going to do something, you do it yourself. All right. So
Okay.
with the 13, you are also pulled off the boat. And
Okay.
the two of you will move 20 foot away from the grouping. All right, top of the round. They are a very lucky group. Top of the round, tower. Not everyone's holding onto the boat. What do you want to do?
It's gonna go back.
You gonna come back around?
Do you reckon an octopus is dexy enough to undo a rope around him? So
They can.
Considering he has a 13 for dex.
They can like go through doors and stuff like in all of that. They're very able to morph their body.
I could shrink up and then come out of the rope.
Yeah.
I know. You reckon that's the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna do that to leave the boat where it is, and then I'm gonna sense that Greg is, being that I'm an octopi and probably have good sight underwater, I can probably see that Greg is underneath, near one of them. I'm going to circle around to the one that's got Carmen.
Okay.
Can I attempt to grab her and contest a strength check to put her away?
Sure. Are you going to try and break the grapple on her? Or are you just going to grab hold of her and pull?
I'm
Over me off.
I've got two arms. I'm trying to do both. I'm gonna try and wrap a cord around her to thingy, and then I'm gonna spend another 2 tentacles to try and break the link. So I've got her at the same time as I'm breaking it.
So she's not going to be fighting against you, just wrapping your hands around her, so there's no real need to try and grapple her or anything. But all you're doing is you are describing how you're going to try and break the grapple. So go ahead and make an athletics check.
If I have a skill in athletics, does that
If you are proficient in athletics, your proficiency bonus
transfers
over. Or your proficiency transfers over, not the bonus.
Not the bonus, yeah. So that's +3 would transfer. That is strength with 2, strength 2. Come on. That's not good. 13 then.
Yes, unfortunately, you're not able to break it out.
Bad squiddy.
Okay. Anything else from your tower?
Bonus action rage.
Okay.
Oh no, I should have done that first because my strength checks would have had a bonus.
Okay. Shago, seeing the situation, is gonna use his movement to climb up on top of the boat. Standing above Averine, seeing the boat's not gonna move much, he's going to just flat out attack the giant. You give me back my sister, you. As he will strike and miss with a 14, but then 2 spear attacks. Hit and miss. Okay. So hit for 11 piercing. Okay. Greco.
So I have a few questions about what I'm thinking about my course of action. First question, if I were to submerge myself underwater, I know you said we're about 25 feet up, how long would it take for me to sink to the bottom is the first part, and how fast would I be able to move if walking on the ground at the bottom of the water?
Are you holding your breath?
Yeah, I said actually at the end of the round I was holding my breath. He can hold his breath for an hour as a turtle.
It's harder to drop down to the bottom of the ocean, to drop down underwater while still holding air in your lungs.
Yeah.
So if you were to let go of all of your breath, you could sink down in one turn. Otherwise, it'll take you... do you have a native swim speed?
I don't think so, actually. But let me check, 'cause I never bothered to really pay attention to that. So give me one sec. I guess, so the other thing I wanted to ask, which might just kind of render this moot, how would casting spells with verbal components while holding my breath work, if at all? Well, it's things like if I close my mouth off, I can still create sound in my throat, but I don't know if that's enough to constitute a verbal component. And I'm sure Greco would know if he could do things while holding his breath. So,
unfortunately, no.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, you can't do such a thing.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't have a swim speed.
So since you don't have a native swim speed, your movement speed underwater is halved. Yeah. You can get down to the bottom in as many turns as it would take you to swim 25 foot down.
Yeah, and that is not very useful to me then. Then what I'm going to do is, let's see. In that case, I will cast. I can inflict. I'm going to cast a guiding bolt at the big guy. Well, actually, I'm going to use my my move to do what Shago did and climb to the top of the boat, so I'm not underwater at all. I'm going to use my action to cast guiding bolt at the big guy, and then I'm also going to draw my shield.
Okay.
Well,
guiding bolt misses wildly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I did, draw my shield also. So that's...
Zola, you are currently grappled by the frost giant, and he's walking towards the beach.
I'm gonna look up at him, be as cute as I can be. He's like, "Would you please release me?"
Roll a persuasion check.
I cast suggestion.
Oh, you cast suggestion. Okay. So he needs to roll a wisdom saving throw. What's the spell save DC?
15.
He looks down at you. No. Anything else from you, Zola?
That's an action.
Okay. Averine.
Okay. Now I will bonus action Misty Step and be on the other side of the boat.
Okay. Boat's going to be a little bit rocky now that there are 3 people on top of it and moving around. Yep.
All right, and then I will cast Firebolt at the big guy.
With an 18 to hit, that'll hit for 11 points of fire damage. He's looking quite wounded now.
There's more of that! Yes, you should let us go before we kill you.
Anything else from you?
That's it.
Right. Then, splashing water up at you, he will turn around, provoking an attack of opportunity from Shago, which will hit, dealing 14 points of damage. And he is actually going to attack the octopus by grappling the octopus. You have advantage on your athletics check to try and avoid the grapple.
Sorry, I'm actually going to use towers because it's the same strength thing as your bonus.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
He grabs hold of you. You are now grappled by him. You're also still grappling Carmen, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
This
so
is just a mess.
Tentacles and arms everywhere.
Tentacles there. I've got 2 arms there, 2 arms there.
as he's going to move away, he's going to try and pull you away from Carmen. So I need you to roll a strength saving throw to try and hold on to Carmen. unless you would let go of her.
I'm gonna see if I can try and pull her through. Still, I kind of technically I've still got 2 arms on the other guy. Well, trying to hold on to the other guy.
All right, so let's see how the other guy does. As you're holding on to Carmen, you tear her out of the arms of the frost giant that is on her. So now, Carmen, you are grappled by the octopus. Octopus, you are grappled by the big bad frost giant. Okay. Carmen, what would you like to do?
I would like to tell the one who's grappling Tower, who's grappling me, a joke and ask him, when giants play tennis, is it not ping pong? And then I'm going to cast hideous laughter on him because he's going to find me hilarious.
With a joke like that, it would take magic to be funny.
Okay. He looks at you. Ping pong.
It's fun, yes?
He will drop the octopus as he kind of curls up. He's quite buoyant, naturally, as a frost giant. So he will be prone on the surface of the water as he's laughing and rolling around. Gregory, what are you doing?
Gregory is going to point at the one holding Zola and say, you should really listen to the captain. Perhaps you didn't know she was a captain. Drop. And that, like, deep, commanding, resonant voice commands him to drop. I'm going to use a sorcery point to actually... No. So Zola's the only one being held right now, right?
Correct.
Great, yeah. So I'll just use a level 2 spell to try to get this guy to drop her. Oh, it's a level 1 spell, actually. Command. That does not work. Remember how I said I was adjusting my sheet over the week? Apparently I did it
broke
wrong.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so something tells me it's not going to be a strength save.
Nope. It's all broken, Aaron. It is all broken. But it's wisdom. It's wisdom. The description is still correct.
Yeah. All right, wisdom saving throw. What's your spell save DC? 16.
Yeah.
He rolls an 11. Okay. He drops Zola into the water.
Well, it's on his turn. He drops her.
Like a
into
Goonie
his
screen.
turn.
True. But his turn is coming up next anyway.
Sure.
So
And then I'll actually go straight back down underwater.
Okay. So on his turn, he drops Zola. And will approach you. Is there anything else he gets to do?
On the spell description for drop, it says the target drops whatever it's holding and then ends its turn.
And then ends its turn. Okay, so he stays there. His buddy, who just lost hold of Carmen, is going to step up and try to grab Carmen. So, athletics versus acrobatics, or your athletics or acrobatics, it's up to you. He fails the first attempt. Second attempt, go ahead and roll it again.
Can I give her advantage because I'm
I need
technically
it.
holding it?
He fails anyway.
Okay, good.
All right. I guess Alawando should have been up next. What's Alawando doing?
He is going to fly towards that guy. And that's it.
Okay.
He's going to stay what he perceives to be out of his reach.
Okay, so Tower.
Can I grab for Solar?
Yeah, you've got 4 tentacles.
Yeah, can I grab for Solar? And then
You can let me go now.
I'm gonna try and get you both to the boat. So I'm gonna charge forward.
Solar, do you object to the grapple?
Is Casey there?
I guess not.
Yeah.
You sound so depressed about that.
Yeah, because there's Grigori. He's floating in the middle of two of them, and, like, who's going to take care of him?
I mean, I swim. I actually have been really trying to get you guys out of here so I can blow them up with fireballs.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, well, if I were to object, then everybody's... Yeah, okay, so, yeah.
No. Play Zola. She objects. That's fine.
No, I am playing Zola, and I'm saying go ahead and do it.
Gotcha.
So Zola would allow it.
On the basis that she knows she's causing a ruckus by being here.
Okay. All right. Then you pull her away. You can, again, pulling them is half speed. With a 50-foot movement, you've got 25 foot, I think.
60-foot movement, so it's 30.
So you can move up to 30 away with all of them in tow.
So I just want to get them to the boat and then try to drop, let go next, drag them and let go and let them sort of grab hold of the boat again. Is that all in action?
No. Pulling them is fine. You let go of them, that's fine. Grabbing Zola counts as an attack because it was a grapple attack.
Yeah, no, fine. What's Gregory doing? He's kind of floating underneath the water. I can see him.
Yeah, you can see him.
I'm gonna can I carry on and try and grab the boat and then this isn't gonna work again, is it? Sorry, can I bring more of the people to the front of the boat, and then I'm just gonna hold back here.
Okay.
So if I can bring them closer to the boat, and then I'm going to move back in between for the time being and see if I can get. I'm going to try and get broken firm, that sort of thing.
Okay. Shago will. He'll look at the octopus, think for a moment how awesome it would be to ride the octopus into battle. But there's a better time. He will just dodge, take a defensive stance. At the end of his turn, though, a huge ballista bolt connects with the frost giant, Yao.
Yeah.
As it would appear, your friends are helping you out at this point. Connecting with his shoulder, it knocks him back a little bit. Greco, what are you going to do?
Well, let's see. Have we damaged, or have we seen any of the other two frost giants that aren't the big one get hit by attacks yet?
No, they've not been attacked yet.
Okay. Then I am going to hold my ground on the boat and cast Toll the Dead on the big one. And so since I'm 5th level, that would do 2d12 damage. So
Yes, it will. So, wisdom save for that. He succeeds, takes no damage. But thankfully, because he didn't take any damage, he doesn't get to make a save against Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Right.
He failed the save when he got hit by the harpoon.
Does Tasha's Hideous Laughter do anything about like advantage or disadvantage on saves against attacks since they're preoccupied?
They are considered incapacitated, but he is technically prone, and as a result, ranged attacks have disadvantage. But for this, it wouldn't make a difference.
Okay,
Right.
cool.
Zola.
If he's prone, is he technically drowning?
No.
He's buoyant.
He's buoyant. I don't want to deal with that. Zola, what would you like to do?
Is there any way that I could help Grigori from a distance for my action?
Do you have a rope?
Grigori's underwater, technically. I don't know if you can see him.
I might have.
Yeah, the water's clear enough.
All right.
Pretty sure everyone's explorer's pack should include a piece of rope.
I think I actually have a burglar's pack, which is even better.
Okay.
So yes, I will do that. I will. Well, because if I drag a rope at the back of the ship, then what's to stop? Well, I can let go if it's a giant. So yeah, I'll do that.
Listening to the thought process is really great.
Okay. All right. Would you just drop the rope, or would you quickly attach it to like an arrow or a bolt or something to give it a little bit more weight? That way it drags a little bit better.
I'd be happy to do that if you'd allow me.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll allow you to do it. Okay. So Gregory, a rope is going to start drifting towards you. Once the boat starts moving away, it'll get more taut. You just simply need to grab hold of it. Once both of you are holding on to each side of the rope, together you can pull Gregory in quicker. Okay. Averine.
Averine will bonus action Dragon Breath.
Cast Dragon Breath.
Yeah. And that will be on Alawando. And that's it.
Okay. The Jarl still laughing. Now every now and then as he's rolling over, tossing back and forth, a little bit of water will get into his mouth, so the laughing
Becomes less and less
muffled.
buoyant.
Yeah, a little bit. Coughs every now and then. Gets to make a wisdom save at the end of his turn. Still fails. All right. Carmen, what would you like to do?
I would like to cast Shatter.
On what?
So it's got a 60-foot. No, that's my range.
So range, let's go for it.
20 foot radius.
No,
I believe.
Cast it. Come on.
I'd like to try. I'm definitely going to go for the two closest to their ship. If I can get the last guy who's already injured in the same.
You can position it in such a way that you get all of the giants and
Yeah.
not Gregory.
That's exactly what I'd like to do.
Okay, go ahead and fire.
Okay.
Con saves from all of them. It's a 24, a 16, and a 28.
Hmm.
So they all succeed, taking half damage. The Jarl, well, every one of them takes 4 points of thunder damage. The Jarl gets to make another wisdom save. As the explosion of water might wake him back up. That's a 23.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Anything else from you, Carmen?
How are they? How's the one looking nearest to us? Their leader.
Very injured.
Okay.
Gregory.
So up. There's a rope by me, right? There's a shot by me.
There's a rope within swimming distance of you grabbing.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come up at the top of the water, just point and kind of launch a fireball. I should be able to get all three of them without anybody else.
Yep.
To be clear, this is above the water. Like, the idea is that it will detonate above the surface of the water and go out from there.
Right, dex saves from the three of them. I have a 19, a 3, and a 0.
So the Jarl got disadvantage because he's prone still?
Strictly speaking, yes. Fireball is not an attack roll, it's a saving throw.
I thought
So
dex.
what's your spell save DC?
16.
16. Okay. Since the Jarl has disadvantage, he rolled a 15. They all take 23 points of fire damage.
All right.
And then I will swim. Actually, no. I'm going to use empowering a sorcerer point. Hold on. Sorry. Empowering spell. When you roll damage, I can spend a sorcery point to reroll a number of damage dice. So of that, there were 2 that were nat 1s, and then a couple 2s. So you know what? I'm going to burn through 3 of my sorcery points to reroll 3d6s.
Okay. So you're re-rolling the 2 1s and 1 of the 2s, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll say the 2 stays the same. You get an additional 8 points of fire damage on all of them. Okay.
Cool. And then I swim north I'm just going to swim north 30 feet, presumably grabbing a rope as I go.
Okay.
Do you surface out of the water, or are you staying under?
I mean, I had to surface to shoot it. I could potentially go down again like 5 feet and then swim 25 feet away instead of 30. And I'd probably provoke an opportunity attack when I do that, but that's up to Aaron, I guess.
You would. He has disadvantage as he is prone. But his weapon is on his back. He's not going to bother. He's focused on other things right now. The Frost Giant is going to turn to the Jarl and ask for orders. And ready an action to move in the direction that he is ordered to move. Aluando.
Can I get a cone of fire breath to see if I can position it in such a way that would be helpful?
Yes, you can. What's the size?
15 foot. I'll just cast it now.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, and I will give all players control over it. So you should be able to move that cone and position it however you like. There's a 15-foot cone.
I guess I'll just breathe fire on the leader. It's a DC 16 dex.
She fails. Takes 10 points of fire damage.
And then Aluanda will fly up out of their range and start flying towards the ship to hopefully divide their attention. But to be clear, he's trying to be out of what he perceives to be out of the range. Yeah.
Yep, no problem. All right, the other Frost Giant do the same thing. He's going to ask for orders and wait to dash until he is given some. Top of the round, Tower.
Tower. So everyone's on board. Greg's got a rope. That's some of it. Yeah.
Everyone that matters is on board, depending on who you talk to, really.
Okay. I'm going to move and then grab hold of the original rope, and I'm gonna bonus action dash and action dash and then all that stuff. In fact, I'm gonna move. I'm going to do an ink cloud discharge, and I'm going to use my bonus action to dash because I can do that with the ink cloud discharge. And if Grigor is getting pulled through, he's going to get pulled into the ink cloud. But he's heavily obscured in the ink cloud if he's being dragged behind us.
Okay. All right. So you ink everywhere. And dash, pulling the ship away. It is difficult to be able to move the ship in such a way. So what is your swim speed? It's 60 foot?
It's 60 foot.
All right, so as part of the movement plus the bonus action move as part of the ink, you get 60 foot away.
Yeah.
Everyone else being pulled by it, you will be pulled to such a degree that the Frost Giant slams his fists like a child in the water, splashing everywhere.
I'm shooting. I'm totally shooting as we're going. I don't want him to just be mad. I want him to be dead.
Shagos doesn't have any ranged attacks. Greco, do you have any ranged attacks that are over 80 foot range?
No, but he wouldn't be attacking anyway. I guess he has a bow, but he's not gonna. No, he doesn't have a bow. So yeah, he wouldn't be attacking anyway.
The firebolt will hit. He is just flailing about. He's angry, but he's not going to pursue the ship. Carmen?
So we're not in range anymore.
Uh,
I don't think I can do anything.
You can shout again if you want to do that. I think that's 60 foot. Yeah.
I can do shatter again. Yeah, that's one of the. Okay.
okay.
I'm too far away. Okay.
You can cast it at a higher level.
I could, couldn't I?
Yeah.
I could. I could cast it there.
So a con save from them all. I have 24, a 15, and a 19. So all of them save 18 points down to 9 points damage. Okay. Gregory, you're going to be firing at them as you're being pulled along the water.
So
I'm
I'm
actually
gonna-
going to be pulling him in.
You're also
I know he's yeah. So.
I'm gonna come up and I'm just gonna be shooting Eldritch Blast until, because I have the sharpshooter, like the spell sniper, until I'm 240 feet away. I'm just shooting Eldritch Blast every round, and then after that, I'm launching another fireball because I can do that from 300 feet away.
Okay.
I'm at that rate on this one.
And since you're a level... what level are you? Warlock.
I didn't take any warlock. I'm still just sorcerer,
Okay.
straight up.
Then how do you have... Oh, it's a... right, I understand.
I have one level 3 spell left to use fireball, and then Eldritch Blast I got from a Divine Soul thing, and I used that one over and over again as a cantrip.
So I'll double check later. I believe you have 2 blasts per round now that you're 5th level. So as a result, you will get
Yes,
2
I get
shots.
5th level, that's right.
Yeah. So go ahead and fire off twice.
Did it work?
22 hits. Go ahead and roll the second one. 13 misses. So you deal 2 points of force damage as you leave away. Frost Giants aren't going to do anything. Alawando,
I'm going to use a sorcerer point to reroll that damage. That's terrible damage.
the D10,
Yeah.
the 2. So
Well, it's
increases
4
it by
damage,
2.
Why is it better?
Is
It's a D10.
Alawando going to do anything?
Yeah, he's gonna breathe more dragon breath. So he's mainly just focusing on the big guy, diving in as staying as far away as he can to reach him,
I
and
understand.
then diving back out to draw them back away from us.
Yep. And this whole method seems to be working. He needs to roll a dex save. He's confused. He fails. He takes 13 points of fire damage. He falls unconscious in the water as the sail gets pulled away. His men focus on getting him onto their ship and recuperating him. He's not dead, but he is knocked out. Your men hurry up trying to get you back onto the ship. And unless you order them to stay in combat with the ship, he will suggest we run as quick as the wind will take us.
If they run, they can follow us. We can stay 300 feet away and just lob fireballs at them.
No, run is good. I vote for run.
Then, yeah. What was that? Sorry, Tower?
Destroy the sail with the fireball. Then they cannot pursue properly.
All right, get close enough to drop a fireball in the middle of the boat. Just light that sucker on fire.
Try to catch their leader in the fireball. Just wait,
I mean,
get it all.
Certainly, we'll give it a shot. The fireball is only 20-foot radius, though, and this is a really big boat.
So, as you get back onto the ship begins to move around this particular boat. The Jarl, not dead, but not chasing after you for now. we will pick up the adventure next week. Well, not next week, actually. We will continue the adventure in 2 weeks' time, as next week we have a few too many people unavailable to play D&D. So, thank you, everyone.
But we are sailing away with a boat on fire behind us, right?
Yep.
The classic cool guys don't look at explosions, just no.
That's what you'll get when you parlay.
Absolutely. So, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. So just to let you know, next week's session, we will be here. We will be live. We will do something. We're not sure just yet what we'll be doing, but it won't be as part of the main story. But still, join us. Bring a friend. Subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate those, the support and the follows and everything that you guys give to us. If you liked what you saw, please, again, follow us, join us. During the week, these guys, RP in character, if you would like to read along as the RP is happening, then go check out our Patreon page where you can gain access to the in-character roleplay as it happens, and that is patreon.com/Teovanth. The link is in the chat right now. You can follow us on Twitter. We are at Crituitous RP, and follow our Tumblr, crituitousrp.tumblr.com. Thank you very much, everyone, and good night.